Hi, how is everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again, out and about on a bank holiday Monday where it's raining and I'm at work. So yeah, typical bank holiday. But Newcastle yesterday certainly put a smile on my face watching Alan St. Maximin come up with a complete and utter thunder cunt to destroy the hopes of Wolves. They clearly thought they had done enough for the 3 points. And despite referee shenanigans yet again from certain Coots, I think he should be renamed something similar. I just can't put my finger on it. Coots, cunts, yeah, because that's how it feels like. We seem to be getting these on a regular occurrence where we're not getting absolute obvious blatant penalty kicks. Decisions go our way. We're not getting it. We're not getting the rub of the green despite it going to VAR. I mean, it is starting to become really noticeable. It is. And despite the fact that we're still on an undefeated run at the moment, which is absolutely brilliant, like I say, courtesy of that thunder cunt from St. Maximin, the top and bottom of it is we could have won that game yesterday. We should have had a penalty yesterday. We should have had a penalty against Manchester City. And it goes on and on and on the list of different examples. And more often than not, like I touched on before, his name, that referee, he shouldn't be able to have another Newcastle United game, to be honest, because he's clearly got some sort of issue, some sort of problem. Even when you're looking at VAR and you can't see the obvious at the end of your fucking nose, you know that you're in the wrong profession or you're refereeing certainly the wrong fucking team. But Newcastle showing a tenacious approach to the game. I think I touched on before about the City game previously at home. If we concede after 5 minutes against Manchester City under Cabbageed, then it's a capitulation. It's a 7-8 or 9-0. You know. Speaking of which, 9-0, I want to get onto that shortly. But under this new Newcastle, there's a dogged determination. There's always a plan. There's always an opportunity. There's always something that we can do to get something in a game. And consistently over the last couple of games, the last 3 games or so, we've been falling behind in games. Yet, you know, we've managed to get points out of the games. Yet we've managed to salvage the situation somewhat. So again, it shows a development with regards to the mental approach of the team and the quality of the you know, the coaching staff to be able to come up with different situations and stuff like that, to be able to facilitate changing games to get, you know, what we need out of them. So I thought yesterday, personally, the least we deserved was a point. But when you're going away from home to a difficult, noisy ground like Molineux and you're controlling the possession, you had the chances that we had obvious penalty kicks turned away. You know, we should have been winning that game. And I think perhaps if we were to have some of our, you know, main players back, shall we say, it's no disrespect to the players who went out there yesterday, but certainly if you have your Brunos of the world, your Callum Wilsons of the world available, and dare I even say it, Alexander Isak as well, if he had been available yesterday for the game, cheers Brexit, you bastards, then perhaps it's a different outcome. Perhaps that extra little bit of quality would have pushed us over the line to get the 3 points, but it wasn't meant to be. The squad came in, and yeah, we can say that we're disappointed to come away with just a point. And again, that shows progress, because under previous years gone by, going away from home, it was just like you were going through the motions, and going a goal behind it was literally the fucking death knell. That was it. There was just no way in coming back, really, unless you're Everton, of course, at Goodison Park. But yeah, 1-1. We've got I think Eddie Howe looked a little bit disappointed after the match, a little bit deflated. I think probably a little bit frustrated with some of the decision making, and that really centred around, for me, the VAR incident with Sean Longstaff. You know, you have your shirt clearly pulled back, not just a little bit, not just a little tug, but he absolutely pulled his shirt is affecting what's happening in the box. It goes to VAR, and the explanation they come out with after the event is that it wasn't for a long enough period. And it's like, they don't want players throwing themselves to the ground, but if players throw themselves to the ground, then are you going to get more spot kicks? Is that something that we need to do? It's not something I like to see in football personally. I don't like it when a Salah or somebody like that pivots around and dives like an absolute fairy on the floor. But they're making the players do that more and more in order to get the spot kicks that they deserve. That was as blatant as you want, and how they didn't come to the decision. But it just seems at the moment it's just a fuck Newcastle over at any possible opportunity from these VARs. And remember, these were brought in to get these contentious decisions correct, to have a better standard of refereeing. But the refereeing, even back in the late 90s and early 90s, was better. It was better when there weren't even full-time professionals. I remember a time not too long ago where they had day jobs and they did this part-time and did the other job part-time. Now they're full-time. They do this all the time. They train for it, they go on courses for it, but it's about time that the referees stop sending these copy and paste fucking letters of apology out to managers afterwards and just get the fucking decisions right in the first place. Disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. But look, Newcastle had the opportunities in the second half, certainly to even nick it at the end. Elliot Anderson also fucking close, and he is scratching and beavering away for a first Premier League start, and you know, certainly with the likes of Bruno missing for maybe another game or two, and everything. There's every chance that he will get the start maybe over the next game or two. What an exciting box of tricks he is, and he comes on and he just helps again offer something different, something new, something fresh. So yeah, he's certainly going to be pushing. He's going to be pushing the lads who've got the shirt at the moment. Sean Longstaff yesterday, his 100th appearance for Newcastle United, a hometown lad, making 100 appearances for the club. So that was fantastic to see. It was also Joe Willock's 50th Newcastle appearance already, and I think there certainly was frustrations with Willock yesterday. I think cottoned onto that pretty well. But he did do quite a lot of good work going forward, and was one of the more creative players on the pitch. But speaking of creative players, you've got to then get to St Maximin, and let's hope and pray there's no injuries, there's no knocks, there's no strains, anything else like that. There was a few players hobbling and looking a bit like they've been through the wars again at the end of the game. But that's what you get with two hard away games, another away game coming up. You know, all the travelling, everything else, it's not ideal. Away game after away game after away game. If that was Klopp, fuck me, he'd whinge on about that for a couple of hours on a press conference. But to credit to Eddie Howe, he's just getting the lads, he's right, we'll get in, we'll start preparing for the next one. There's no complaining, no bitching, just getting ready for the next game, which is a tricky one. The undefeated start is going to again get put to the test. We fought this against Manchester City, and it was a really, really difficult game. We put a lot into it to get the point out of it that we did. And again, we're going to have to do very similar for this Wednesday's game against Liverpool at Anfield, a ground that we are seemingly fucking cursed at. We don't generally do anything there whatsoever. Scoring is an achievement, it seems, at times, but I think we go down there with a newfound confidence, a newfound belief. Liverpool haven't had the best starts of the season, barring the 9-0 annihilation that they've just done last time out against Bournemouth. But teams have got around them, teams have got into them. They've conceded goals, they've been lucky. They've also had that defeat against Manchester United. So they haven't had a great start. Nunez, their new signing, who we were interested in at one point, is suspended still for this game, so that's good, that's a positive. But Liverpool still have a very talented squad. They may add to that before this game. Klopp's talked about the need for a midfielder now, so that may happen. And it's just a shame. I don't think Bruno's going to be available, because I think if we have our full strength team, I think our midfield, and I think Joe Linton plays better with Bruno than Joe Linton does without him. And I think we sort of maybe have a chance to boss that midfield a little bit, because I think the midfield's a little bit of an area of weakness for Liverpool at the moment. But alas, I don't think he's going to be fit. I think it'll be Crystal Palace at a push before Bruno's back. But I'm sure that Eddie is working on a plan, on a system to be able to try and exploit the few weaknesses that they have, to be able to get something out of it, a la what he did against Manchester City. You know, there's always a way. It is 11 v 11, no matter how talented the other group of players are. It's 11 v 11, and you hope that we go down there, we apply ourselves in the same way that we did against Manchester City, and hopefully we get a referee who can see the difference. Yeah, and you can just like officiate it down the middle, and not be biased and not be swayed by the crowd down at Anfield and everything. And maybe we finally get a little bit of a rub of the green off a referee, and you get a decision, or you get some set pieces and Trippier's on form. You know, that's what we've got to sort of try and work for. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. Hopefully, like I touched on before, St. Maximin and Trippier are okay. They look to be hobbling a little bit, as I just let something large past me here. Yeah, they look to be struggling a little bit. Obviously, we already without quite a few other players. John Joe Shelby's, Emil Crafts, Callum Wilson is missing, Bruno's missing. So we can't really afford many more of these sort of essential players, these first names on the team sheets, to be missing. Also, fingers crossed that the government pull the finger out the arse and get the work permit finalised for Alexander Isak, and he is able to make a contribution to the game as well. Probably be starting on the bench, you would imagine. But yeah, I was disappointed. I think I was more gutted at the weekend that he wasn't given that opportunity to shine into play than anything else, to be honest. Get him in. Newcastle are still working on other deals. Eddie House suggested that yes, we are slow for business. We're trying to make some more things happen, a few more incomings, and certainly quite a few outgoings. Dubravka not named in, well, he obviously wasn't the starting keeper, and he wasn't named on the bench. Carl Darlow was at the weekend, so he must be close to remove to Manchester United. Personally, I wouldn't let them have a loan deal. Why we should do them any favours whatsoever after some of the shit they've said about us recently, I don't know. I wouldn't give them the steam off me piss. So to me, nah, you either pay for the player or you go somewhere else with your fucking begging bowl. We're not doing Manchester United any favours whatsoever in my book, for what's been said. And the traditional rivalry, you know, over the years, many Newcastle supporters, certainly Newcastle supporters of my age, wouldn't give them the time of day. They're not a proper club in my estimation. They're a proper plastic, you know, plastic club, and a bit of a comedy club, to be honest, at the moment. So yeah, no favours to be done there, but there are players to shift out. There will be players, hopefully, as well, that we bring in. I think central midfield has now been highlighted as an area that needs some attention. There's reports linking us to the Ajax player. I'm not so sure myself whether they'll let him go after all the other departures and stuff. At the end of the day, they're a Champions League club with Champions League money coming in. Do they need to cash in on another asset? I don't know. I hope so, because from what I've seen of the lad, he'd be a tremendous acquisition, a different sort of player to John Joe Shelby. But I think he could do a fantastic job in the middle of there, and hopefully as well, maybe a wide attacking player to complement what we've also got as well. Because again, substitutes at the weekend, you're scraping around. It's a Jacob Murphy type substitution. No disrespect to the lad at all. Honest pro, gives us his all, but just that added X factor off the bench, again, it can make all the difference. It gives you different options to be able to rotate and rest players, so we can try and avoid any more injuries. We've got enough injuries to be contending with at the moment without any more. So yeah, fingers crossed we get something done on the transfer front really shortly. Transfer window due to shut in days time, so Newcastle will have to be like literally on it like a fly around shit to get a couple of deals done and a couple of players out over the course of what we've got left of this transfer window. But it's been a good one. It's just like I say, it's just a shame with the injuries and that side of it. But we go to Liverpool, I think we go there believing more than what we've ever done in a long time. I think the team pretty much picks itself. I'm assuming that St Maximin is still fit as well. I would be surprised to see maybe a change at the left-hand side of defence. Dan Burn playing there. Would you get somebody in like Matt Targett, who's able to get forward a little bit more and offer you a little bit more going forward? Perhaps I would make that change. It's then, who do you drop between Burn, Shah and Botman? I think Botman's been absolutely fantastic. He's won every single aerial duel since coming to the Premier League. You can see why. He is so much the future, but it's then between the other two. It's either Shea or Dan Burns. Who do you drop? Who would you drop? How would you set the defence up down below? And obviously at right back it would be Trippier. If Trippier's fit and available, that would be a no-brainer. If not, if there is an injury to Trippier, then it'll be Manquillo, and he hasn't had a great deal of football. He's had no pre-season at all. Not even a run out with the reserves or anything, so I'd be really concerned going to Anfield with the amount of defending that we've got to do if Trippier is not available. So everything fucking crossed that Trippier is available for this match. In front of them, again, I don't really see him doing much changes. Would you put Elliot Anderson in for his debut at Anfield away? Again, let me know down below what you think about that one, but I think it's a lot to ask, and I think you like Sean Longstaff a lot, so I think Sean will keep his place. Sean and Joe Linton in the middle two, and Joe Willock as well, just rounding that out a little bit further forward. Good memories for Joe Willock. He has scored at Anfield, hasn't he, before? And then the wide places, again, you hope the Saint is fit and available, because again, although I saw the moans and the groans about St Maximin during the game, I think the last two games he's stepped it up Major League from what has happened before. I mean, before he scored the goal, he ran all the way back, he tracked back to make a tackle, and then the next instance he's scoring a fucking worldie from outside the box on the volley first time. So you have a player like that in because he can change games in a moment, in a heartbeat. He can change a game and affect the outcome like that. And at Anfield, you're probably not going to get much chances, so you need somebody like that who can, in an instant, just score, turn a game, produce a moment of magic. So he will, I think, definitely start. On the other side, you've got Fraser or Miggy, and again, it'll probably be Miggy, because again, Fraser's not had a great deal of minutes recently, but Miggy will go in there and he'll run all day. Even when he's tired, he continues to run, and he continues to try, and he will persevere, and he'll track back, and he'll do all that good stuff. And then up top, this is the other one. Will he go with the new boy? Will he put him in as a central striker up top, or will he go for Chris Wood, who again didn't have his best game last time out? And when he's given the opportunity, he really needs to take it to stay in that first team picture, because he's going to have Isak ahead of him, he's going to have Wilson ahead of him, and as has already been shown at the weekend, the boss ain't scared to be able to shift St Maximin central as well. Now he needs to score goals, but for that he needs crosses, so we need Trippier on form, we need good free kicks, good corners getting put in, but he needs to find the back of the net, so the pressure's on, and it could be one of them performances that he knows he's got to pull one out of the bag, and he's just able to get his head on the end of something, get his toe on the end of something, and hopefully that would be a turning point for his career and his time here at Newcastle United, because the pressure is on. The club is changing so much all over the place. New CEOs, new technical directors, new players coming in, new sports science doctors, dietitians. They're making changes corporately. left, right and centre, there's so many plates spinning. Newcastle is redesigning itself from the inside out, and if he's not careful, it'll just be left behind with the times. So yeah, what would you do with the strikers as well up top? Let me know what you would do. Would you play Isak from the start, or would you keep Chris Wood in and put Isak on the bench? Historically, if we look at other players that have been brought in, they have been slowly integrated into the team. You think of Bruno Guimaraes, you think of Sven Botman. They were not brought straight into the team. There was a period of integration, and perhaps I'm thinking that may continue. He was at Wolves, so he did see how we played, and he may well have picked up on some stuff there, but I just can't see it. I can't see him chucking him in straight away. But let me know what you think down below. What's the score going to be? I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I went 1-1 the weekend and was correct. I went 2-2 against Manchester City, so I wasn't a million miles away from that. A 1-1 draw, I think it'd be great for us. It wouldn't be great for Liverpool, but it would continue that positive momentum forward. And then we start to go into a run of fixtures where we have every chance, with the squad finished, finalised and settled, to be able to pick up a few victories and really cement a place in that top half of the table, which is of course the focus for this season. That sort of 10th up till 7th or 6th, somewhere around there, is the real focus for the season. Outside chance, outside possibility of European competition is a fantastic thing. So anyway, I've rattled on enough. I need to get back to craft, so let me know what you think down below. Formation as well, could there be some tactical surprises? Will we go for it? Who's going to play? Let me know down below, and in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.